Hi, you guys, and welcome to Nosy Bystanders Live. I am your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. Why is my mic doing that? Hold on. There it is. Okay, I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. One word. And today we're going to be talking about just two stories, right? To keep it short, sweet, to the point. We're going to be talking about first. I want to discuss this guy here, if you can see on the graphic, and then I'm going to talk about this group here. So the reason why I want to talk about this group is because I actually got time to sit down and watch Armon Wiggins' live show from the other day, and he had, even though he did a short segment on Larry Reid and Tasha K, he did hit on some really interesting finite points that I want to get to. Then I want to get to the story of the involuntary manslaughter with this guy. So it's a lot, okay? It's a lot, okay? It's a lot. So before we get to all of that, okay, let's see who's all up in the building, because I know I'm a little bit late. I was producing another show on the network called The Diamond Show. It's a talk show that we host at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you catch The Diamond Show. It's really interesting. Today they talked about, would you still be with your partner if they gave you an STD? Very interesting topic. So let's see who's all in the building. Hello, Nikki. Hello, Mysterious by Nature. Hello, YNV. Hello, Unicorn and Dimples. Hello, Angela. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Sophie. Hello, Jean Canty. Hello, she's got Betty Davis eyes. I don't think I've ever seen you here before. And welcome. Hello, Amber. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Bow Lady. Hello, Anastasia. Hello, Monica. Monica says, Stephanie and Nosy fam. I ain't ignorant. I smashed that like button on my way in. Please don't be ignorant. Hello, Lee. Hello, Triple Leo. Hello, Cami. Hello, Quanda. Hello, Rashida. Hello, AC. Hello, Lucky Lady. Let's see if anybody from Facebook showed up. We're again, we're new on Facebook, so let's see if anybody showed up into the building. Hello, Shell. Hello, Chaz. There's 31 likes. Fam, keep it up, please. Hello, Mandersley. How you doing? I ain't seen you in a while. Hello, Callie. Hello, Soothington Sound says, "Girl, I stopped cleaning so I can get in front row seat." Hey, everybody. You can continue to clean. Just turn the volume up. Turn it up. Okay. Hello, Half Crazy. Hello, Brown Mama. Hello, Tommy. Hello, Kawana. How you doing today? Hello, Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson says, "Hey, nosy cousins. How y'all doing today? I'm cooking and waiting on the tea." Okay, Sean. Hello, Kanisha. Hello, Mrs. Jazz says, "Yesterday, chief response to the comment section was a cackle." Facebook, y'all all right? If you didn't catch us yesterday, please catch our live show yesterday, honey. It was a mess. I actually watched, and before we get into our first story, I actually watched a TikTok video today. This girl said when she watches like the blog channels and the tea pages, she said, I'll go to the comment section because that's usually where everybody kind of lives, right? The comment section is like your home. She said, I always see comments like, "This ain't y'all business. Why y'all talking about this?" And she's like, did they forget where they are? You're on a blog. It's news. It's going to be talked about. Okay. I didn't come into your house asking what happened. You posted it on the internet. We gonna talk about it. Okay. Posted on the internet. We gonna talk about it. Okay. All right. Okay. Hello, Kel. How you doing today? Hello, Laddie Ambitious. How you doing today? Hello, Queen Sugar. Hello, Burnett. Hello, Jess. Hello, Juanita. How y'all doing today? Hello, Lexi Glow says, I finally made a live. Yes. Okay. Well, let's get started because I really want to talk about this. And we're just going to talk about it briefly. It's just kind of the warm up. Okay. Don't worry. It's just the warm up. So let me share my screen. Hold on one second. I'm always so late to share my screen. Hold on. Okay. Okay, I'll minimize it just a little bit. I'll read it to you, okay? Because you're not going to see much because his head's in the way. So, so this is about Alec Baldwin. So he was actually shooting a film called Rust, which I don't think is going to premiere after what took place. And while using some of the props on the set, somebody was shot and killed accidentally. It was an accident. So I wanted to read you this article from the Los Angeles Times. It says New Mexico prosecutors said that they are filing felony criminal charges against the actor Alec Baldwin and the armor of the low-budget Western film called Rust. Following the fatal shooting of a film cinematographer, the charges represent a dramatic culmination of more than a year of speculation over who would be held accountable for the death of the cinematographer Helena Hutchins, a rising star at the film industry. Hutchins was shot in the chest on October 21st of 2021 as she rehearsed a scene from with Baldwin and the film's director Joel Souza. I think that's how you say his name, who was also wounded. Baldwin is expected to be charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors also plan to bring involuntary manslaughter charges against weapons handler Hannah Gutierrez Reid, who loaded the gun. The district attorney said that she planned to give the juries 2 options for the charges. If convicted under the lesser charge, Baldwin and Gutierrez will face up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine. The DA also will ask the juries to consider harsher penalties, which carry a mandatory 5-year prison sentence because the alleged crime involved the use of a firearm. The film assistant director, David Halls, whose investigators said gave the loaded revolver to Baldwin just before rehearsal in Old Wooden Church Bonanza Creek Ranch near Santa Fe, reached a plea deal to accept misdemeanor charges of neglect in the use of a deadly weapon. In New Mexico, First Judicial DA Mary Carmick announced that the charges Thursday, nearly 15 months after Baldwin allegedly fired the round from the prop gun. Now, let's talk about this because I think this is just here's my opinion on it. Accidents happen. Accidents happen on set. It was a literal prop gun. So the fact that they're trying to get them with weapons charges, I find to be bizarre because it's like, how do you get a weapons charge and it's not even a real weapon? That's like getting a weapons charge with a rag or you know a piece of Kleenex. Like, oh, that's a weapons charge. I don't know. I feel like the prosecutors are scrambling because here's the thing. Prosecutors have a duty to bring forth justice and help families receive justice. But at the underlining thing, prosecutors are also incredibly, focused on wins. And to be a prosecutor, right? And you thoroughly charge Alec Baldwin, and let's say he pleads or let's say he's found guilty, that's a win for you as a prosecutor, and you'll always be labeled the prosecutor who prosecuted Alec Baldwin. They usually take that kind of badge of honor and then they quit the prosecutor's office. It always happens every time. They'll quit the prosecutor's office and go work from some high-end law firm. It happens every single time. This sounds more like a resume writer than it actually does serving justice. It's insane. It's insane. And I don't know how no one else saw that. I'm like, no one else is seeing what this prosecutor is doing. I guarantee you, if Alec Baldwin pleads to the lesser charge of involuntary manslaughter and does like, 2 weeks in jail, which is all he'll do, and pay a $5,000 fine, that prosecutor gets to take that win, quote unquote, right, under their belt, that win, and go cascade off to some really high-end law firm in Los Angeles, New York, or the DC surrounding areas. That's all they're gonna do. And be like, yeah, I prosecuted Alec Baldwin. And be like, no, you didn't. You brought up Trump charges for this. Just so you can put on your resume that you prosecuted and got and secured a conviction against Alec Baldwin. Like some law firms are gonna see it as like, oh, that's a win. But most people who are like their junior partners are like, that's not a win. That was you're just being a sellout. You was just trying to get some. You're just trying to get some notoriety as a prosecutor. That's usually what they do, you guys. I'm telling you right now. Well, remember, prosecutors are elected. Okay, let's be clear. Prosecutors they're elected positions. You don't just walk in the door and be like, I want to be a prosecutor. No, you have to fill out the election forms and get on the ballot, and that's how you become a prosecutor. And they usually don't last very long. So I would love to take a deep dive into this prosecutor and see when his next election is. Because I guarantee you it's coming up. I guarantee you it's coming up. I guarantee you it's coming up. Because first, he has to get his name in the papers. Most people probably don't even know who this guy or girl is. And then the next thing, they're going to run on that ticket like, yeah, we secured a conviction for against Alec Baldwin, even though he only served 2 days in jail. Okay. Probably paid for that entire family's funeral, plus handed that woman's family well over a multi-million-dollar settlement. You know, he already gave them that money. That's very clear. Okay. It not like as hush money, just as like his condolences. Here's some money. You know what I mean? And that's usually what they do. So you already know he gave his family at least 10, 15 million. We know that. And most certainly he paid for that funeral. Like, how is that not enough? Now you want to get him as a murderer? She was acting out a role in a prop. It's crazy. It's insane to me. But let me get to some of y'all comments because I could see this a mile away. I can see this a mile away. I'm telling you right now, mark my words. Mark my words. This prosecutor either has an election coming up or they're not going to run for re-election, and they're going to end up at some high-end law firm in one of the large surrounding areas. I guarantee it. It happens all the time. It happens all. You guys don't understand. Not this plane. Y'all hear this plane? Dang, that beast is loud. It must be a cargo plane. We're next to the Air Force Base. They usually don't have planes this late at night, so that was weird. They're never this late at night. Very loud. So I'm here running. I sent you a DM. Let me know when you got it. This is from St. Hudson says, over, you said, whoever put the shells in the prop, but he shouldn't be charged. No. It's a real weapon, Steph. It's a prop. It's a prop. It's not. It's a prop. This from April says, maybe it's because it's a civil suit produces. I don't think a civil suit is going to produce because it would have already come. It would have already come. That plain disrespectful as hell. Do you hear that? They watching you. Okay, this is from Sheree says, both the armor and the actor take responsibility for the weapon, have a checklist that is supposed to happen. I'm trying to figure out what exactly was it? Was it a real bullet? Was it just a hollow bullet that just like penetrated her? Was she not wearing a bulletproof vest to act out that scene with him? It was something, honey. You know what I mean? Surrounding areas, I mean, like taking his talents to like Dallas, Houston, you know what I mean? Those big law firms, Los Angeles, they're all right near me. The Phoenix area, go over to Florida, Miami-Dade. This is what these prosecutors do. This is what they do. Okay. This is what they do. It's all about getting notches on their belt. That's it. Just hitting another notch, another. That's all it is. Okay. That's why those prosecutors in Broward County never ran for re-election after Casey Anthony lost or won her case. What kind of prosecutor do you look like not being able to secure conviction against a woman who literally murdered her child? You see what I mean? So that's how it is. It's about notoriety. They did not run for re-election. They was like, oh no, because how you gonna get reelected? You lost the easiest case in the world. The literal most easiest case in the world. You lost it. Look at the prosecutors against the O.J. Simpson trial and the prosecutors against Michael Jackson. Those prosecutors don't come back. Okay, they don't come back. They don't come back. They just take their talents elsewhere because they're like, oh well, I lost the biggest case of the century. I'm definitely not going to get reelected. There's no confidence in me. This from Andrea Carr says, there has been a civil suit. Baldwin fought them on it. And I'm remembering correctly, part of his defense was blaming the lady that shot for her own death. Why would he not offer her no money? I gotta look that up. I don't know. Hold on, let me pull it up. No, he settled that. In the same article here. Here, let me pull it up. He settled that civil suit. It's interesting. Yeah, he settled. I told you he gave him money, honey. After the backlash. I wonder how much they was asking for. I guess if you settle it privately, we'll never know. But I'm telling you, it's definitely in the millions. Alec Baldwin got it, y'all. He did 30 Rock for like 7 seasons. He's also I think he's got an Academy Award. This guy's got bread. Alec Baldwin's money is long, honey, about as long as the Sea of China. Okay, Alec Baldwin's money is long. He's definitely gave them at least 15 million, at least. At least. This from is it Ursula? I heard part of the civil agreement, what the dead lady's husband had a producer credit. He gets a producer credit? Is he a producer? Maybe it's out of her death. But what would the producer credit mean? They're never going to air this film. Are they? Do they plan on airing this movie? I hope they don't. This from Jazzy Old Lady says he was set up. Why would he check? Why would he check the gun if it was a prop? Right? Like, well, isn't that what the armorer is supposed to do? He's just the actor. You know what I mean? They doing too much. I think they doing too much. I think they doing too much. I think they doing way too much. This too much. This too much. This is entirely too much. Okay. They need to just they need to stop. They need to stop. I want to move on to this story because we got to get into this because the Alec Baldwin story, although the story is rather interesting, I want to know what that prosecutor is going to do. I got to look into that prosecutor. I'm going to look into it and do it. I'm going to do, well, we're going to talk about it tomorrow because there's no time to look into it right now because I got to look at the Board of Elections. But I'm curious if that prosecutor is running a re-election or not. And if they're not, they have to be, because what would be the point of this whole case? What would the whole point be? The whole point is to pad your credentials so you have something to run on in your reelection. If they weren't getting reelected, they would have never brought this case to the front. It would be no point. Yeah, I think that prosecutor's running a reelection. They're running a reelection. They have to be. So the cinematographer was acting out a scene with Alec Baldwin. She's cinematographer, so that's usually what they do. So she was acting out a scene before the real actor comes in play, and then the director would start shooting. So that's why she was there. They were acting out a scene. ERT says, but why did he spin a prop? Why did he sim a prop at the producer? Because they were acting out a scene before the director was getting ready to shoot the scene. That's why a lot of people are probably like, what was she doing standing there? They were acting out a scene together. If you look at a lot of credits from a lot of films, the behind the scenes stuff, you'll always see the actor standing there with that one random person with the tool belt on. That's the cinematographer. Okay. The cinematographer is walking them like, okay, what am I supposed to be feeling in this scene? Like, how exactly am I supposed to emote this emotion? And they're always standing there with that random person talking to them. That's usually the cinematographer. Got it? Good. This from Quima says, look, prop guns are real guns. It's the bullets that are the props. Sometimes shrapnel dislodges from the gun, but make no mistake, they are real. I don't know why they didn't just use CGI. Okay, that's another that's another question for another day. The armorer. There's a person on this. There's a person on set who handles the guns and the weapons and the props, and they're called the armorer. I think that's how they pronounced it, and they do that. This is from Rosie, the hair hustler. Okay, hair hustler says, I think this will make other actors nervous to use prop guns. Heck yeah, or at least or at least when the cinema, instead of the cinematographer, especially for films with guns, instead of the cinematographer standing there, they should just use a prop like a dummy and clear the way because somebody else was shot. They just didn't get hurt or they just didn't die, but they should just clear the way and have the actor use the prop person, like a mannequin, and enact the scene, because some things you can't fake with CGI. You understand what I mean? Like some things you can't fake with computer graphics. Sometimes you gotta have the gun, sometimes. So yeah, no, you're so right about that. Yeah, this from Andre Carr says he wasn't just an actor, he was also the producer or director, can't remember which, and was extremely reckless when handling the gun. He pointed it at her. Apparently there's rules explicitly against it. Yeah. Mm. There ain't no video. I know there's video. I don't care what no one says. You're on a film set. What, none of those cameras just rolling on accident? They, I'm just saying. Y'all know what I'm trying to say? Y'all know what I'm trying to say? Y'all know what I'm trying to say? Like, there wasn't, what's it called? I know there was a camera going. I feel like there was a camera going somewhere. Yeah, right? I know I'm not crazy. This would never happen on Tubi. I want to get on Tubi so bad. I want to get on Tubi so bad. He sure did. He did. He sure did. He sure did. Oh, wait. Oh, child. Let's move on to this story. Okay. Let's move on to this story. This is why I got these props here. Because aren't they cute? You guys like these graphics? Don't they look dope? I love them. I love them. I stole them from Armon Wiggins. Shout out to Armon Wiggins. You with these props, I love this because it feels very interactive. And also, too, they're like right here. So shout out to Armon Wiggins for that. I just was watching his show today. I was like, oh, I love that graphic. So I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. He's the first person I've ever seen with these live graphics on his screen, and I like them. They look really dope. So I was watching Armon Wiggins, and we're gonna play a little bit snippet, just the audio, so don't worry. Because I want to make sure everyone gets their credit. We're just going to be playing just a snippet of the audio of his live show that I was listening to from yesterday. Let me pull it up. And he just said some rather interesting things. And that's the reason why I want to listen to them. This is the reason why I want to listen to them. So 1 second. It's only 22 minutes and I want to dissect it. So you guys, the segment is only 22 minutes. Please, for the love of God, the only thing I ask you is to do not tell me to fast forward. I have to listen to this in real time. I've already listened to it twice, and I want you guys to listen to it because I want to be able to go over some of those details that I thought were rather interesting. Now, Armon Wiggins plays an incredible role in this because he knows both of these two individuals quite personally, and I feel like he knows a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. So when he says something, I don't take it with a grain of salt. I take it with tons of validity because, again, he has nothing to gain out of telling his portion of the story. So hit it, okay? Hold on 1 second. I love his intro. I would have an intro made, but not that it's expensive. I just don't care. And I love his studio. Okay, hold on 1 second, you guys.
Okay, Larry Reid. Okay. All right. So a lot of you guys have been following this story religiously, right? The Larry Reid situation. I'm going to be the first one to be honest with you. I have not really been following this since the beginning, 2020.
That's cap.
Or 2021, whenever this whole news broke down, I was not.
He says he's not following the story. That's cap. Okay. Just know that there are some aspects of storytelling that doesn't require the full truth. So him saying he doesn't follow the story very closely, just know that that's cap.
Following right away. Website, I'm not paying for that. And so what I gathered from the situation was, yes, Levontre Adams was very, 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 very detailed in what had happened. And so for me, I'm like, ooh, this is a lot of detail, Larry. And he's very concise about what happened, how it happened. And it was interesting. What made it interesting for me is how he said that Larry Reid came from a perspective of a father figure. So it wasn't a sexual relationship. It was more of like a mentorship program. You know what I'm saying? It was more of one of those things like, okay, hey, I'm going to mentor you, or I'm going to be like a father for you. And so that's going to be my way in. And then he also talked about how,
my only critique is he just take the mic and just move it back, just because he has a very pronounced voice, but his mic in his mouth, ooh, it hurts my ears a little bit.
He was having him play the gay test, see, are you going to be gay? Or he said that, Larry Reid pretty much said, you're easily manipulated. If somebody wants to manipulate you, they can get in your head easy. They can see that you are vulnerable. Okay. And so the boy detailed, events where Larry Reid, was trying to, coerce him or make advances at him, to the point where he was saying that, Larry was massaging him. Larry Reid turned around and, one day threw the boy in his mouth, and it was a lot of vulgar things. Now, Larry Reid has since said that this is not true. This has not happened. He said that he was going to sue the guy. When I called Larry, Larry said that, we couldn't really talk about too much because he was still in litigation with the guy. He's still suing the guy. I don't know. So many people are saying that he's no longer suing the guy. I don't know if he's still suing the guy or not. Larry Reid also said that he's suing Tasha K, but now people are saying that he may not be suing, or he's got to deal with the Levante Adams first before he can sue Tasha K. Also, I did talk to Larry, and Larry said that at this point, because of his business is 90%, 90 to 100% social media, the court of public opinion really does matter.
Now, let me pause it right there because that's so important that he said that, because I've seen a couple of content creators who were discussing the story, and they said, oh, this is the court of public committee. This is the court of public opinion. Anything goes. That is not true. And Armon Wiggins hit the nail right on the head. So I want to give you a little tiny history before we get back into this live stream. A tiny history of the court of public opinion. The court of public opinion is actually recognized as a legitimate court in the United States Supreme Court. It is. If you didn't know that, the main reason why before a trial will start and you'll have the plaintiff, the defendant, the prosecutor, the defense, and then who the third person who is in court prior to the judge setting the trial date. I don't know if you guys know what it is or not. It's the media. So what the media does is in landmark cases or big cases or cases they feel like is going to be really good for the news, what the media does is they'll send in their representatives and their attorneys to go to court on that day, and they will argue that they deserve to have their cameras in the courtroom. So there are always three parties in a courtroom. A lot of people fail to realize that, but there is. They come into the courtroom, and then the judge decides whether he believes that the court of public opinion would be too bad or too detrimental for the case to actually be tried with enough adjudication, right? Like it would be a fair trial. So the judge would decide, like, no, having the media here is not gonna sway the opinions either this way or that way. So we'll have the media here. Or in the case of like Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, the judge was like, absolutely not. This seems like it's going to be a really, really big case. And I think the court of public opinion might hamper the way this case goes. So we're going to leave the media out, but you're more than welcome to come in and actually take handwritten notes. So you can come, but you can't bring your cameras. So the court of public opinion is correct. Armon Wiggins hit the nail right on the head. And for those other bloggers out there who are saying it's not, you are dead wrong. Larry may not take anyone to court. He might take 10 people to court, but regardless of anything, the court of public opinion is what Larry is currently fighting. Got it? Okay, good.
I be telling him to do that. Cardi B and Jason Lee.
Not them skipping past where I was at. Hold on.
All right. So also, I did talk to Larry, and Larry said that at this point, I have not heard it. Perhaps Larry Reid and I will have a conversation, and we'll be able to get into some more detail. But I don't know. Here's my thing, and I maintain this. I'm still waiting to hear more. I'm waiting to see more. Tasha K is alleging that there is a receipt that is irrefutable that she has of Larry Reid apologizing to this man profusely. Excuse me. I want to see that Facebook receipt.
He burped a little.
Okay, I want to see that Facebook receipt. She said that's coming out in episode 3. We have not seen that Facebook receipt yet. So at this point, it's Larry words against the other guys, and I'm here for the truth. Like I told you before, and like I told Larry on the phone, if this comes out in any kind of way that he has done this, I'm not with it, because I'm not going to attach myself to nothing like that. However, I'm not going to just sit here and say that Larry Reid is guilty because someone has came out and made allegations. And then my thing is this, for Levante Adams. If you felt some type of way, it's just kind of like, it's just convenient that, you make sure you go and align yourself with Bishop Whitehead,
yeah,
and Tasha K, 2 individuals that have it out for Larry Reid.
He makes a really good point here. See, I just got hip to this guy like today. Shout out to you, Armon. the points he's hitting are things that you should be asking yourself, regardless of whether you like to hear about this story or not. When a victim comes forward with their story, right? The first thing you're supposed to do, based off of how the Me Too movement works, is you're supposed to believe them immediately. The next thing you're supposed to do when a victim comes out with their story is you're supposed to investigate it. Now, the reason why you do it in those two steps, believe them first and then investigate, is because currently in the judicial system, they don't do that. They just either just decide that they don't believe them and then just discard their entire story. So what the Me Too movement taught us is believe the victim first and then investigate, because each victim deserves an investigation into their tale, right? Correct. And to their accusations. So when we believe the victim, right? The second thing we do is investigate. Now, when you look at the story coming out with Levante Adams, and he tells his story first. He tells his story to for a lack of better words, a wayward blogger who was in tandem and support of Larry Reid until things went south. And we're referring to the cigar vlogger, or Daryl Moore, right? So you already know the story behind him. So you find it like, that's interesting. Out of all the people you could have shared this incredible, tragic tale with, you chose this wayward blogger. So you're like, okay, it's neither here nor there. Then the story kind of dies down and it gets picked back up to speed. And then it's like, wow, you've decided to sit down and talk with two additional people who have even more issues with Larry Reid right here. So then you're just saying, you have to start to look at the motive behind it, right? You're like, why are you not going to Lovely Tea? Why are you not going to the Impressive Channel? Why are you not going to Nick at Night? Why are you not going to MSNBC? Why are you not going to CNN? You understand what I mean? So people look at how Levante Adams is disseminating the story and who he's decided to sit down and disseminate it with. And so that should be looked at, right? Immediately. So let's get back into Armon, because right now he's 2 for 2.
And the common thing with that is tear down his brand. So what's in it for Tasha K? Why is she doing this? Is this just for the million views? What is this for? You have to look at it on all sides. Yeah. Do I feel like something happened? Something happened somewhere. Do I feel like the boy was underage? No. And then to find out that the boy is straight, I looked at that man. That's a zesty man.
Now, Armon. Okay, he's 2 for 1. You can't base someone's sexual orientation on whether you think they're zesty or not. Okay, so go ahead and take that to the side. He's about 2 for 1 right now. Okay,
the hair up there like that and that earring dangling. That's a zesty man. I don't know. It's giving me struggling with his sexuality.
No, Armon, no. You cannot question people's sexual. You cannot question people's sexual orientation. Don't do that. Bad. Toy. Bad. Don't do that. That's not good. It's not good.
Now, am I going to say that Larry Reid didn't try to dive in his bread basket the day he turned 18? I believe Larry Reid probably tried to eat a piece of that bread on that basket. Okay? When the boy was 18. Do I believe that Larry Reid was playing with 14-year-olds? I don't think that Larry Reid is playing with 14-year-olds. 15-year-olds? No. Do I believe that he'll play with an 18, 19, 20-year-old? Absolutely. Maybe.
It's the way that Armon talks, it's serious and funny. He's like, I don't know. He's got very, really good stage presence.
As long as it's legal. But I'll say this. I personally feel as though, while we're getting into it,
that's interesting. CJ said, to be fair, the victim went to the police first, then Daryl Moore, not Tasha. Sounds like he went to them because Daryl was shut down and Tasha and the bishop had a huge platform. That's correct. You're correct.
It's one of those things like, you got to think, what's in it for Tasha K? Because she's known this. You know what I'm saying? She's known this for a while, and she was helping Larry Reid. She was helping Larry Reid encouraged him to do the lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't know that. If that is true, which I don't know, if that is true, I don't know if that is true. That's insane that she would encourage him to do the lawsuit. If that's true, interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder what encourage if it is true, right? Allegedly, I wonder what encouraged Tasha K to tell Larry Reid to proceed with his lawsuit against them.
It's the cigar vlogger. But now we know Tasha K being Tasha K, the competitive person that she is, right? Tasha K is very competitive. Larry Reid, it was told to me that Tasha K wanted Larry Reid to invest in her Kiwi Studios. I don't remember if it was, I think it was a few $100,000. Larry Reid talked to some people on his team and was advised not to work or attach his brand to Tasha K because this is in the middle of her lawsuit, and a lot of people in the industry in the middle of her lawsuit with Cardi B, and a lot of people view Tasha K as a joke in the industry.
Now that's interesting that he says that, right? Because again, Armon and Larry have a behind the scenes relationship, so they talk, they key, if you will. And Shell, yes, we can listen to that as soon as we get done with this. We only got 10 minutes left, so we might have actually enough time to get to this interview here, and I thank you. So I'm going to leave that up just for now, but I will be reading you guys' comments, but I'll leave this up so I remember. So that's very interesting that if it's true, right? Allegedly. So we're going to say allegedly just to be fair. So allegedly, according to Armon Wiggins, she asked for a loan for her studio. I'm sorry, for her production company, and she didn't get it. Motion detected at the front door. That's interesting. That's interesting. This is from CJ says, Tasha and Larry didn't tell the full truth, but I don't know. She's an alleged liar. Don't call someone a liar. This is from Sandy J said, Tasha K believed him initially. Got you. This is from Rumorville. What's up, Rumorville? Says, Larry Reid said this on his platform a few months ago. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, that's a big fat motive. That's a big fat one. That's a big fat one. Understand what I mean?
Do not attach your brand to the salaciousness.
1 second.
Larry being Larry probably told her that. Also, Larry Reid got on the phone with Tasha K one day because they all called me. We were all on the phone. Me, Larry, Tasha, we were on the phone. And Tasha K, well, prior to that, Tasha K told Larry Reid that she was going to distance himself she was going to distance herself from him because I had told him something about her and she was starting to believe it. And what I had told him is Tasha K is a dirty, dirty dog, and I was warning him that she is not your friend. And he was starting to believe that. And she said, because you're starting to believe Armon, I know Armon told you that, I will distance myself from you. But it's the truth. So that was part of the downfall as well. And not to mention, when I listened to the Tasha K interview.
Thank you.
With Levontre Adams, Tasha K had her own reasoning. She had her own motive. This is not about the boy being touched, allegedly. This has nothing to do with that. Listen to what Tasha K is talking about. She wants to make fun of his sexuality. She's talking about how the chef was a lesbian. The chef was too busy eating cootie cat. Mind you, Tasha K told this to another content creator, wanting that content creator to go live and put that out. Called Larry Reid, told Larry Reid that she told a content creator those things and that stuff might get put out.
That is the third time I heard that statement in this story this alleged story where Tasha K wanted the story to be put out and gave a story to a blog. They keep calling him a content creator. That content creator, I guess, never published that story, but I've heard Armon Wiggins say it. I heard Conscious TV say it, and I heard another person. I can't think of them right now, but King Jives, I think I heard him say it. My question is, what is the story and who was supposed to be disseminating it and when? King Pain. What was the story? Ooh, interesting. We're almost done.
Larry Reid calls me like, what's going on with such and such? Why are they about to put this information out on me? Tasha K called me and told me that there's some information that may be put out. But Tasha K told the information to the YouTuber to put out. And then she called Larry Reid like, Larry, hey, there's some information that might get put out. You know, so then Larry calls me because I know the YouTuber. So he's like, what's going on? Why is this YouTuber going to do this? And I'm like, Tasha K is a dirty dog. Larry Reid tells the YouTuber mind you, we're trying to explain to Larry Reid that I called the YouTuber on three-way. Like, girl, what is the tea? Tasha K is a dirty dog. Larry Reid tells the YouTuber, he won't believe me. And I'm like, girl, you need to listen. She's trash. Larry Reid then tells the YouTuber to record Tasha K on the phone. It was a whole mess. But I say that to say she's been trying to find ways to expose him ever since Larry Reid said that Olga told him not to tell Tasha K about where the $25,000 or $20,000 came from during his previous lawsuit, and that Tasha K didn't know what the hell she was talking about when she was running her mouth saying that Olga paid for the legal fees. So she had been feeling embarrassed ever since Larry said, because they shared the same lawyer. Tasha tried to put out, and you gotta listen. Tasha tried to put out that Larry Reid stole $20,000 from his congregation or from his fans or whatever, and didn't pay the legal fees. And Olga paid the legal fees. Larry Reid said that's not true. I paid him, and Olga told me that Tasha K don't know what the hell she's talking about. She didn't want me, and Olga didn't want Tasha K to find out. Something along those lines. But that was
something along those lines. Something along those lines is what he says. That story sounds a little bit convoluted because it deals with a lawyer, a shared attorney, $20,000, the attorney paying a third of the cost and comping the rest, comp the rest. The lawyers sound messy, honey. No, girl, as the YouTube turns 2023. This from Tish says, why being gay still being used as a tech? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, that's what CTV said on another platform. The lawyers sound messy, okay? Child. But yeah, that's really just summed up his. It was not very long. Now I want to go back to I believe somebody said he did a live stream 4 days ago, and it starts at the 49-minute mark. So let's get there. Was he in this white studio? Okay, let's get to the timestamp. 49. 10. Oh, it's so precise.
It's just that close. We gave them jobs in
this one. Someone said to watch this interview, and we have plenty of time, so I want to get to it. He's got a red jacket on. Y'all, he's not in no red jacket. I guess it's... Oh, this one?
Okay, let's go. Let's go live. Why?
What we say, Armon, was that 2 and 1? We'll give him 3 because the way he said or something like that. Okay. We'll give him 3. He's 3 for 1. Okay. He's about to be 3 for 2. Now, I'm not going to show this image on my platform because I don't feel right about it. But he got a picture of Tasha K looking sideways. And I don't know why he chose this picture of her. I'm not going to share it on my platform. I'm not in the business of making Black women look bad. I always, and I'm just, here's just what it is. The only person I ever show bad photos of is Darius Cooks because I can't stand him. But I always do my best to find the most beautiful pictures of people because how they look is not a reflection of what their story is or what they're doing. So always show the most best presenting pictures. I like this picture of Larry Reid because I just think it looks dope. It's just a really dope, high quality photo. I like this picture of Armon Wiggins because again, it looks dope. I like this picture of Tasha K. I think she just looks beautiful. So I'm not in the business of showing people looking crazy, but Armon got a crazy picture of Tasha. Okay. So I'm not gonna show it, but we're gonna listen to the interview because Armon, why you do that? You ain't got to do that. Just tell the story. Okay. Let me get some. Where can we see it? It's on his YouTube. I'm gonna just cover it like that. We're on his YouTube. This video here. So I'm not gonna show you the image he got of her. She looked crazy, and I don't care if the photo is on the internet already. I don't care if the photo's on the internet already. I don't want it on my platform because again, this is not about Tasha K's look. I think she's beautiful. But I just don't want to show it. But it's just a crazy picture. I'm sure it's from like some scene she's done in like, a commercial or ad or a brand deal or something. So let me get some of your comments and then we're going to get right into this video. Whitehead is homophobic. He says it. Oh, okay. We're going to get to it. Thank you very much, Shell. Thank you very much. This from Andrea says, nah, the lawyer knew Tasha was messy. Olga, the lawyer, didn't want Tasha to know because she says Tasha runs her mouth too much. So Tasha said Larry was scamming people to send cash apps to pay fees already. Oh, dear sister. This from the pink collar. Hello, pink collar says, Darius says, yes, that's a good one. In the red outfit, he balanced on the show. Okay, let's get into this video. It's this photo, so I can't look at it. It's hilarious. It just looks crazy.
Here it is, so I can play this damn audio.
Armon is 3 for 2 because of this picture. Okay, but we still love him.
And one of Larry Reid's alleged victims. Okay, now we're going to listen to this, and we're going to get into some things. Here, let me do this. Let me take a screenshot so I can show you guys kind of. So this is a. All right, here is Larry Reid's alleged victim. So crazy. So he's detailing, I guess, when he was
turn the computer around and like turn the camera on.
I don't want to
do with her.
I wanted to hear the call. You said
let me say this. What I'm about to say, I'm just really conjecture because I really don't know.
Okay.
But just sitting thinking, she's been doing this longer than me and had
Larry's so country.
2 stories and she had great mentions on platforms, but I don't think she ever been asked by a major network to be a part of this series and play herself, but I did. And I think that was a good punch. And I should have peeped it early on when she began to ask for my share, ask for my production team, ask for the assistance of those around me. But I didn't see it for either what it was, because I don't really know, or what that type of interaction could turn into. I didn't. When I tell you, it was not on my radar at all. And you was in my ear and others, but like I said, I'm like, that was everybody else's experience. And so even that time with that other super, I can't think his name, but we were all live trying to get him to, just honor her for the things she had done. I didn't think that she would be like, even I was trying to get you to talk to her. But
yes.
I just didn't. I was thinking her praises for over a year, about 2 years.
Do you think it was a money thing? Because I remember we talked one time and you was saying that she was asking you about how much money you made or something like that. Do you think?
Oh, yeah. We was on the phone when that came to my mind. I forgot about this. I told you everything, but
sweetheart, these are bloggers. Okay, Overcomer. These are bloggers. I don't know what you were looking for. If you was looking for good old church folks with knee-length dresses, and usher gloves on. I don't know what you came for, okay? But these are bloggers. This is how they get it how they live. I don't know if you ever heard that phrase before, but they get it how they live. This is how they have been able to amass their millions of dollars. This is how they've been able to amass their wealth. This is an industry, okay? So to say, oh, bloggers are messy, that's the name of the game. I've never in my entire life heard somebody say the National Enquirer is such a prestigious publication, because they're not meant to be. They're not meant to be. People Magazine is not a prestigious publication. TMZ is not a prestigious production company. Okay? This is an industry. It's an industry built on mess. And the individuals who decide to take this industry by the bull horns, right? Essentially, they're going to be a part of that. We have a production company called Nosy Bystanders. It's because we're nosy. We're not messy, but we are nosy, right? So this is just the industry. You're just going to have to, if you don't like it, you're going to have to find something else to watch on the internet. There are slime videos. There are get ready with me videos. There are hair tutorials. There's nail tutorial videos. People do vlogs. There's Disney content you can watch. But this industry is mess. They're all mess. Okay? But it's the industry that they run, and they do it very well. So if it's not the industry for you, you might be a little bit weak for this place, okay? This might not be the place for you, but there are some PG-13 safe areas on YouTube where it's not as messy, but you're going to have to find your way to another place. There's book talk, there's a book YouTube, there's video game YouTube, there's cartoon YouTube, there's murder mystery YouTube, there's all kinds of stuff. You've come to the wrong place to look for redemption, and you have definitely come to the wrong place looking for some sort of salvation. So we're going to get back into this video. You can take whatever, holier than thou, holy grail cup that you walked in here on, and go ahead and walk it on right out. And I'm trying to be very nice to you. And I've been seeing you in the comments, and I didn't say nothing, but you need to chill. You need to chill out. You need to chill out trying to act like St. Francis in the comment sections. This ain't the place for you.
I remember where I was standing in that house. Well, she had came over for an interview in 2019. And she was like, oh my God, this is good. Oh my God. She hadn't bought her house yet. And, or either she had just got it or about to move into it. And we got into a money conversation. After she left there and was on the phone, and she was talking about how much money she made. I ain't gonna put the money out there on YouTube, but I'll tell you offline. But I said, oh, okay.
Larry is always good for telling somebody, I'm gonna tell you offline. No, Larry, tell us now.
And she said, did you want to say, yeah. She told him, Reid, what you making? And I laughed. And I said, well, just put it this way. What you say you're making a month after that a week. Wow. And
now that's interesting if it's true, all right? Everything here is alleged. So he said that allegedly she asked him what he makes, and he said to her, what you make in a month, I make it a week. Again, y'all know how I feel about pocket watching. Strange. It's stranger than fiction. I've never got it, but this sounds like pocket watching.
How? You got to teach me. So that's when I walked her through setting up a Patreon.
Right, because you helped her get on Patreon.
Yeah, she made like $10,000 on that in 3 days. Just setting it up. I don't know how much she made, every 30 months. So, and then I will tell you, man, I don't understand. Then her sitting down with this dude. Tasha knew this story and they were rumors that have been circulating from a group of old members. Because what people don't know, before I started doing what I do now, I was a regular old pastor. Well, I had a whole bunch of churches all over in this country and other countries. But she knew about all those old members' disgruntledness and accusations. We would talk about it. Because they all were living, well, not all of them. About 20 of them were living in some of the properties I had in North Carolina. So she knew even about the additional lies from the YouTubers, and she encouraged me to sue those YouTubers and the Levante Andrews guy 2 years ago. So to see her put this stuff out and tout these known liars and documented criminals. All of them got records. Whitehead, Reid, that YouTuber. You know, the judge just recently put him in contempt of court, you know, for telling these lies. Mm-hmm. You know, she was the one that encouraged me to do all of that, which I'm glad she did. But it's all super appalling. And then acting fake shock when she knew this bullshit 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why? But my question is, why would somebody put out such a strong allegation like this?
That's a strong...
Did you do this? Did you do this, Larry? Did you?
Hell no. Not even close. I saw that clip. I mean, it's, you know, but I don't know if you noticed or not. They gathered like 3 or 4 people, 2 of which who came back and apologized on another platform, saying they was high. They had basically been coerced and paid, and they had detailed craziness with me in it, and they came back and retracted it. You know, so I think it's a little bit of manufactured. There's some money involved. I do know. I'm telling you something I've only said one time. Whitehead and Tasha was in on this allegedly. Paid someone in July to get close to me and in my life, and that person didn't tell me till like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And they sent the money back that he paid. So I can only imagine what they are doing. But this is what I'm going to do, Armon. I'm going to work, do what I do, let my work speak for me, and let the lawyers do what they do.
If and when this comes out Sunday, are you prepared to sue Tasha K?
We started preparing to sue, I'm going to say them, because I don't have my energy tied up in it. Our lawyers begin to do all that needs to be done concerning pursuing the lawsuit with her over a month ago.
Because you're already in a lawsuit with the guy. I don't know his name.
Right.
You're already suing him. Okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But you know, she done this interview before I filed my lawsuit against her.
Now, Kelly, in regards to that, he didn't have receipts part. I think you're talking about the part where he says he alleges that Tasha K, paid someone to get close to him. This Friday, tomorrow, actually, he's actually going to do a sit-down interview with that person who allegedly gave the money back. So if that's what you're referring to, I think that's what Larry stated he's going to be doing, and I heard it on his show. This from Sheridan says, has Steph said, you must be new here yet? You a little late. No, Overcomer's been here before. Overcomer's like not new here, so I already knew that. But I just don't want people in the comments. Like, here's my only thing: don't be in anybody's space telling them what to think. Like, let me analyze the information for what it is. I get every right to analyze it, just like everybody who comes very hot and heavy into the comment sections saying he's this and she's that and you're this. You guys have already seemed to made your conclusions on where it is you fall on the line of truth. I get the chance to do so as well. I get the chance to decide what and how I want to analyze information. So the same way everybody comes in the comments extra hot with their conclusion that just tried and true, they don't want to believe anything else. Keep that same energy when I reach my conclusion. Okay. And I think that's fair. The same way that you concluded that you was going to be with that deadbeat ass nigga is the same way I'm going to be able to find the information that I'm going to find. Okay. Let me come to my conclusion like you came to your conclusion when you met your baby daddy. That's all I say.
You know, so
also, what's up, Sheridan?
Probably about 3 months old or 2 months old. Mm-hmm. You know, so he's first, then Tasha, and then Whitehead.
Wow. Let me tell you, but you do know when it comes to the Tasha K piece,
that's an interesting question too. So I was watching, I can't remember whose live stream I was watching. I can't remember, but I did see that someone had posted a copy of Larry's deed. Now, according to Levantre, he stated that he was in that police report, right? He stated that he was SA'd at the age of 15. It's 14 or 15. I can't remember. So let's just say for argument's sake, 15 at a house that Larry Reid owned in 2000 well, he didn't say what year, but he said it was in that house at the age of 14. Well, I think when this blogger, I can't remember their name, it's not the ones you think it is. It's not Conscious or anyone else. It was just like another regular blogger like me. When they ran the numbers, they said he would have been 14. He would have been in 14, he would have at the age 14, he would have been, it would have been 2004 at the age of 14 currently, right? Based off of his age. Then they showed the deed and then they showed the police report. The deed, the house wasn't built until 2006. Or Larry didn't acquire the property until 2006, 2007, which would have made Levantre 17, according to these documents, right? Because we can argue people's stories till we're blue in the face. What we can't argue is physics. You can't make something appear out of thin air. Remember that, okay? You got to remember that. You cannot make something appear out of thin air because you wish it so desperately. So if he did state, hey, I was touched and fondled in this house in 2004 when I was 14, and the paperwork says nothing existed there but a piece of soil and dirt and concrete, either Levantre is mistaken on his dates, which can happen, right? It seems like it's been a long time. He could be mistaken on his dates. But if he's very staunch, which I don't know, he hasn't done a second interview yet, is very staunch on like, I was 14, it happened in 2004 at that house. There's an anomaly because the house doesn't exist quite yet. So we have to figure out, you understand what I'm trying to say? We got to figure out if he's missed those dates. If the accounts are true, then his dates are off. If the dates are true, then his account is off. So we got to figure out which one it is. Somebody has said the other day in the live stream, they said that memory, when it comes to kids and how they remember, is tied usually to their parochial upbringing, right? So you usually equate times and dates of your younger years with what grade of school you were in. We all do it. Like, oh, my first kiss. Well, I was in the 8th grade. You know what I mean? Or my first school dance. That was in the 9th grade. So usually that's how kids equate time and dates together. They usually equate it with their high school and middle school years because it makes it easy. It's like, oh, I remember because I was best friends with this girl and best friends with that girl. And then that girl moved away. And by the 7th grade, I had a new best friend. And this is exactly when my parents divorced. So kids usually equate times and dates with the years they were in school. When I watched Larry Reid's live stream that he did on Patreon that he had brought here to YouTube, Larry had said that, or the people who were there who like all lived in that home together, it was like 5 families, 30 people. A lot of them stated he skipped a lot of school. And the first thing I thought of was, if he was skipping a lot of school, allegedly, right, at the time that this was all occurring, if he was skipping a lot of school, it makes sense if his dates change, because children equate time and date with when they are in school. And if he was a habitual school skipper, then it makes sense if he can't get his dates correct. Does that make sense to you guys? Does that make sense? And it added up. So I'm like, it's quite possible, right? So Levantre could never say these dates are exact, but the paperwork said there was no home here. So what is it? And then you have individuals who lived in the same home as him. It's like, oh, he skips school all the time. So if he's skipping school a lot, it makes sense if his time, right? His element of time and dates are off, because that's just how the brain works. Okay. I keep hitting the wrong thing.
Before I filed my lawsuit to get that. So this interview was probably about 3 months old or 2 months old. Yeah. So he's first, then Tasha, and then Whitehead.
Wow. Let me tell you, but you do know when it comes to the Tasha K piece, you're going to have to be prepared to, medical, all of that, because she said a lot of things. She said that you had the HIV and this, so you're ready to go forward with all that, medical records and this and that, because
Shut up, Alexa. Okay, so I watched Larry's live stream and I watched the whole thing because I got you on this one. Okay, this is all alleged again. So Larry stated that his church, they offered homes for everyone. So at different times, Larry was, correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone watched it, he was buying houses and building houses, honey. And all the families who were like wayward, who didn't have anywhere to go, they would go up to their pastor Dr. Larry Reid, and they'd be like, hey, can I have somewhere to stay? So he was letting whole families stay with him. That include Levontre and his mother, allegedly. Well, it's not alleged because Levontre said that. So he was letting Levontre and his mother live with them in the house with a numerous other families. Larry said it got so crowded, he's like, I'm just gonna go get my own house. And what in turn he did. So that's why he was a 17-year-old staying with Larry, but it wasn't him staying with Larry. It was everyone staying together. You know, anyone at his church, according to Larry Reid, who needed somewhere to go. That is what he alleges. Anyone in his church who needed somewhere to go, he had houses where they could go. I think he said at one point for the women who were younger women, not like my age, but, you know, like in the early 20s, he's like, I helped them get an apartment together. So he was like, I mean, if you look, I mean, from the outside looking in, it just looks like what church people are supposed to be doing, right? They're supposed to be helping their parishioners. You're not supposed to be just taking money from them. If they need places to stay, you as the pastor, in my personal opinion, I feel like that's your duty. Your duty is to help them with housing. Would I recommend staying in the same house? No, I wouldn't recommend staying in the same house. And it doesn't seem like he did often. According to the other families who Larry Reid had interviewed on his show, a lot of them said he barely was there, and it had got so crowded to the point where he was just like, I'm done. I can't be here. I need space. So according to the other house guests, he wasn't there and he left. So that's according to them. Is that true or not? Did he coerce them to say it? I don't think so. But again, that's just my personal opinion. But if they said that he wasn't there and they said the house was just so full, when would Larry find the time to even be around him? And again, they all attested that that boy was 17. They did. They attested to it, a lot of them. And I feel like, I mean, that's a lot of people to say you were 17, 18. That's the part that I can't seem to... That's the part of the story, Levantre's story, that I have a hard time conceptualizing. You have over 30 people saying you were 17, 18 years old. You were 17 in the house with your mom, and then you were there with your wife, because remember, he married the woman from his church at 18. So it was a very short period of time where he was actual single man. He was a married man. So they're saying you were 17, 18 in this house. It's just hard to believe. You understand what I'm saying? It's hard to believe that all these people saying you were 17, 18, and then you're like, nope, I was 14 in a house that didn't exist. I'm struggling with that part. That's the only part. The one saving grace Levontre actually has is his fucking memory. He has a memory that is quite photogenic and quite photographic. He has a photographic memory. If you can argue with me if you want to. You need to sit down and listen to that Tasha K interview. That boy has a memory like an elephant. So he's remembering something. And I believe that something is very much real. Do I believe in the accounts of when they occurred? No, because they're the hard concrete evidence, right? The house not existing. That's something that he's not equating for. And I wonder if Tasha K is going to get to that in their final interview. Like, well, according to this deed, it says the house wasn't here. So are you mistaken on your times and dates? So I'm curious, right? Because the interview's not done. We're not even done yet, you guys. Tasha K still has 3 additional interviews to continue. So that's the thing. I wonder if she's going to broach that. Now, remember, in her first interview, all she was doing was just getting to know this man. So you have to understand, she has a rhythm. Tasha K has a rhythm about how she interviews. So she was just getting to know him and just warming him up so she can get to the final interview. So you understand what I mean? So his memory is quite photographic. But when there's accounts of people saying he skipped a lot of school, I'm assuming, just based off of neurosciences, that when children equate time and dates to stuff, they usually do it with their upbringing, their parochial, right? Their schooling. They bring it up. The kids, your memory is tied to your grade level. And the fact that he never mentioned his grade level, and then you have people doing interviews with Larry saying, oh, he skipped a ton of school. They go together. They go together. He may have a photographic memory, but the only thing that the Levontre does not have is time. He can't figure out at which time those layers are. And because what he is describing as trauma, it's definitely going to start skewing your memory. So he remembers these accounts. Who he had these accounts with, I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet, but he is remembering accounts. He just can't remember when. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh Lord, if I hit the back arrow button one more time.
Tasha and then Whitehead.
Wow. Let me tell you, but you do know when it comes to the Tasha K piece, you're going to have to be prepared to, medical, all of that, because she said a lot of things. She said that you had the HIV and this, so you're ready to go forward with all that, medical records, this and that, because they were saying that you let go of a lawsuit or you threw one out because you didn't want to reveal your medical records. Remember that, Larry? What happened with that?
Yeah, that is not true. There's 3. I do this health and wellness thing with my Patreon. I have thousands of people there. So we pull our whole blood panel every few months. And a lot of people are open and they post and put it out. So if you're in my Patreon, you've seen my test results from as far back as 2013. So it's just not true, and I don't mind taking a test, And if I was HIV positive, I would tell it. I would tell how I got it and everything, like I have told all of my life story, So she's just rehashing all. If you go online, type in that YouTuber's name, pretty somebody put in the chat, and you go to that paperwork. Her and Whitehead is doing nothing but telling all of those lies that was in that documentation that the judge told him he cannot even say anymore because he could not prove it, that his lawyer left him because he said there's no evidence. And asked the court to be taken off the case. They're just doing that. They got to have the clicks, the likes, and hey, go ahead, have at it.
And one thing that I will tell you, though, and I told you this on the phone, though, Larry, if you go, because first of all, like we talked, and I said, this is not good. Whether you did it, obviously it's not good if you did it, but it's not good if you didn't, because this now follows you for the rest, because you're still going to have people that's going to believe that you did this, regardless of what you say or regardless of what happens. On the other thing is, too, if you get into a lawsuit with Tasha K, you do know that you have to see it through and win. You cannot throw it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Armon Wiggins for the tea, or not the tea, honey, but for the advice. When it comes to something as salacious as your name, because your name is your word, and your word is what's going to get you paid. And if you have someone saying anything, and this just goes for anyone, if you have someone saying anything crazy about you, and you have the money and the means and the assets to sue them successfully, then absolutely you have to vindicate yourself. You understand what I mean? So he's right about that. If that is something that Larry's going to do. But again, this interview is 6 days old, and I believe Larry stated that he's not going to go through with that lawsuit.
You cannot settle, because that is going to look like you are guilty, Larry. So are you prepared? Are you prepared financially to go the distance? You cannot settle.
Yeah, this is the thing. You're funny, man. No, I'm not going to settle. My heart. This is why the lawyers want to go. I'm a heart dude, so I don't hate any of these people. Okay. I can't even manufacture it in my heart. I can't. I have a relationship with her and the young man that is saying all the stuff that he's saying. I know both of them. So but even the ones I don't know, Whitehead and the other YouTuber, I can't hate them, but I promise you 100%, there will be no settling, and it will go up. And I'm going to win. Let me tell you why. Do you remember? She called me after we cut off. She called me. She played the audio. She called me about all of these accusations. And I told her, I said, listen. I said, ain't none of this stuff you're saying is true. I said, whoever telling you anything about me having sex with them or me doing anything.
Armon Wiggins with the ad-libs. He's giving what he's supposed to give.
Sure, with them when they was 14, 15, 16, 17. Now, I may have knocked down some 18-year-olds, I can't remember. But they weren't none of my members. I can't remember. But what I'm saying.
And these were men.
No, not those. No, those weren't men. I mean, but I have knocked down a few men now. I have a top. I don't mind saying that.
So you're bisexual.
I'm not putting no label on it. Okay. I've done everything. Okay. I've done everything. But currently right now, I'm no sexual. Because this thing gotta go until everybody ain't gonna get this.
Okay, sure.
You know.
Okay.
I can only imagine your face. Yeah, but I told her then, after if you put this out, after this accusation, it's gonna put a stain on my reputation with people who really don't know me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I said, and that is gonna be negative towards me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said that so that she could still, I knew she wouldn't do it. She can still do it just so I can have malicious intent on record, because that is key when it comes to winning a defamation lawsuit.
This is also crazy.
You just have to. That's the thing about your sexuality. It's private. You know, that's just the way it is. And no one can extort that out of you. No one can beat it out of you either. You know, you can also just be asexual, you know, it's nobody's business, Larry's sexuality. I don't know why people think that's tea.
You know, I hope that, you know, everything works out for you. This is just so crazy. I hope this all gets cleared up. But remember, Larry, it was a couple of months ago. I called your phone. I said, Larry, because Tasha K was going, something told me, I said, go be nosy where Tasha K is doing. And I said,
the way he said, go on. He always says, I love him. Go and be nosy. Please go be nosy.
And she went live. She said she was back from her thyroid surgery and she's planning a nasty takedown on a pastor, on a YouTube pastor. And I called you. Remember I said, Larry, she's coming for you. And you said, for what? She ain't got nothing. There's nothing she can come for. I said, Larry, are you ready? Because she's coming for you. Fast forward, here we are. Sunday. It's about to drop. I told you, Larry.
For the people that are listening, that did happen.
Wow.
And I will admit that I don't know. I'm still thinking about either this was my ego or just being naive. If you had asked me about 8 months ago, I wouldn't believe none of this. I wouldn't believe it. But you were right. And but I promise you, I'm gonna take it all the way. And this is gonna be another lawsuit that she loses and owe millions of dollars.
Oh, so you're going to be suing for millions of dollars. You're going for millions of dollars.
Listen to me. Let me tell you why. See, unlike them, and so I can prove this, I generate multiple millions of dollars a year.
Wow.
So any loss that I have experienced from the first time she opened her mouth is on her. I already did it before.
Here's the thing about Larry saying that he's not going to sue Tasha. Listen, friend of the show, Larry Reid, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. You can say whatever you guys want to say. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Here's my synopsis on it. And here's why I don't believe it. Here's why I do believe he's going to sue her. I think he's trying to cover the spread, kind of get her to be like, oh, he ain't coming after me. All these bloggers out here saying he's not coming after me. All these bloggers say he's not. And then you hear the audio recording, Larry come out a few days later, say, I'm not going to sue Tasha. That's to get her to pull her defense down. It's also to get her to show all her cards. Because Tasha's got one shot to get it all out. Do you understand what I mean? It's like a Hail Mary at the Super Bowl, and there's 6 seconds left on the clock. She's got to put it all out. And I think that Larry is just getting the word out. I'm not going to sue her. I'm not going to sue her. I'm not going to sue her. Just so she can take her defenses down and throw everything at him. That way he'll have everything. You understand what I mean? And then he sits in the back and he just says nothing, giving her that illusion of a victory. Because we know what happened last time Tasha K got high and mighty with her victory, right? When she was going after Cardi B, it turned into a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. You understand what I mean? So because she thought she was being vindicated, right? Like, I got this right. I got the tea. I got this, whoop, whoop. She ain't gonna sue. She ain't gonna sue. That's listen, if you don't learn from history, you're going to end up repeating it. So I think that he is I think he is just kind of standing down right now, letting everyone know, I'm not going to sue her. I think he is going to sue her. If I had to take a wild guess, I think he is going to sue her. I think he's going to let her show her full deck of cards, all of them, including the Joker, and he's going to scoop them up and then he's going to file suit. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. I could be wrong. Now I could be wrong, right? I'm not here to talk for Larry. Barely know the guy, right? So I'm not here to talk for him. I'm here just to give y'all my analyzation. I think he is going to sue her. I think he's going to sit on his hands and he's going to let her put out her series. And then he's going to balls to the wall. You understand what I mean? Yeah, balls to the wall. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think this is, I mean, and again, you guys, I'm just an armchair lawyer. And we talked about what this is. Armchair lawyers are just people who pretend to be attorneys on the internet and talk legal stuff, but they don't actually have a legal degree. This is not a legal degree. This tells people that I can talk about politics. That's all this degree does. Okay. It's just a degree in political science, but I do have a foundational understanding of the Constitution, and I do have an understanding and pretty decent legal analysis. I've taken a lot of undergraduate courses in pre-law, tort, negligence, defamation. So I've taken those courses before in college. So I know. I should call my mentor. I should call him up right now and ask him. He'll give me the straight raw facts. If I sat down and talked to my mentor in 3 minutes and tell him bit by bit, he'll tell me right now, because he owns one of the biggest law firms in Chicago. So he'll tell me right now, oh, he got a case. You see what I mean? He got a case. Because he's a damn good attorney. So I wonder if I call him up right now and ask him, be like, what do you think is going on? And he was also my professor too. He's also a board member at the university I graduated from. So I wonder what he'll say, I mean, I got a handful of hell, I can call my own attorney, but she'll charge me. But I wonder what he would say. He would probably like, this man has a case. And if I told him what I thought and what I hypothesized, I wonder if he would agree with me that this looks like a case for an underlined lawsuit ready to happen. You understand what I mean? Call him. So you have a political science brain. I really do. It's really just analytical at best. You understand? You should go to law school. I got in. I just didn't go. Call him. I will. I think I'll email him first, because he's busy, but I'll call him because the semester just started and I think he's teaching this year. This from Jazzy says, my son has a degree in political science, and baby, I ask him all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I tell you, if you want to have a understanding of pre-law, get yourself a political science degree. It helps you because you take all of those pre-law courses. I've taken the bar exam at my university. When I took his course, we had to take the bar exam as our final, and I got a B on it. Quote unquote B. I got a passing grade on it. So he always told me, he's like, he wrote my letter of recommendation for law school. When I applied, I actually got in. It was just a crappy law school. That's why I didn't go. But it's just about analyzation. And when I look at this entire story, when you analyze it from bit by bit, this sounds like a lawsuit. I don't care what Larry told Armon Wiggins. Okay. I don't care what Larry told Armon Wiggins. I'm telling you right now, this man, the bald-headed one right here, he looked like he about to sue her. I don't see Larry taking this sitting down. I don't at all. Email Skims for what? Yeah, that's what I think. That's my hypothesis. I missed a lot of your questions. I'm gonna go back up here and let me get to some of them. I missed a ton. I know y'all been talking in the chat. This from Andrea says they paid a personal chef. That's the number Whitehead released the other day and says it was Larry calling him. Interesting. We here for the nosy education program. I ain't trying to teach y'all. Y'all be twisting everything I be saying up. Y'all be trying to twist up my words. Ain't no education program. No. This is from Monica. Hello, Monica. Says Tasha K is in Africa so much, it's going to be tough to serve her. Oh, I didn't know that. Because her husband, that's right. Shout out to the motherland. Ooh, I would love to go to Africa. That's just a side note. This is from Mommy and Mir. Says, somebody fill me in. How did Armon Wiggins get to this? He's just a blogger covering the story. That's how he's not in this. He's just covering it. Just kind of like we're covering it. We're not in it. We're just covering it. Okay. This from Amanda says, he said he isn't going to sue anyone because it would be a waste of money. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. Based off of how the trajectory of all of this going, and all the multi-millions that is at stake, because this is a court of public opinion being played out. Okay. He has to sue. He doesn't get a choice. Does that make sense? I don't believe it's not a waste of money. I think he's just telling that because that's the narrative he wants out there so that she can let her defense down. I love these new graphics. I'm going to do these graphics every show. So she can put her defense down and he can get the time ticking. Do you understand what I mean? Armon Wiggins he's just reporting it. He's not in this. Okay. That's what I believe. This is from Anna Xfinity Fun Fuller. That's a mouthful. Says Cheryl's World had CTV and he had some receipts. It's a lot. I got to check it out. I'm gonna go check it out after this live stream. Cause I'm not like y'all, unlike the rest of them. I can't do 8-hour live streams, y'all. I got stuff to do. I also want to get some ice cream while the lights are still on. So, that is all that I really have for you guys today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do this. How about this? Tomorrow we will go over Cheryl's World's live stream. Okay. And then finally we'll be caught up to speed. And remember, Larry Reid stated that it's funny because you can actually see his eyeballs through his glasses. Larry Reid's the bald-headed one right here, quite shiny head. The bald-headed one here said that he will be interviewing that quote unquote chef tomorrow. So we're gonna be quite busy. Be prepared for at least a 2-hour live stream, you guys. Please be prepared for a 2-hour live stream. And if you guys could follow us on Facebook. All of you are here. Okay. Follow us on Facebook. Don't be ignorant. We lost our Facebook page and we really need to get our followers back. So let me copy and paste a link for you guys here in the chat. Okay. Everybody on Facebook, you're already here. Just follow us. And for you guys here on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. There's 430 of you in the building. Okay. Don't be ignorant. Go ahead and follow us. We'll be back tomorrow here at the Nosy Bystanders Live. I am your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. And remember, tomorrow we get to watch Love After Lockup on Roku. Let me also put a link for that in the chat too. I'll pull it up now. Make sure you register, okay, for Love After Lockup tomorrow. We watch, talk, and discuss, kind of like we do here. Let me put a link in the chat for you guys. Hold on one second. And just register. Y'all, it's free. It's free. We do watch only clips of it. So hit that like button. Don't be ignorant. Great show. Thank you very much, Rashida. I appreciate that. I'm going to check Dr. Blue's videos too. Okay, perfect. So make sure you guys follow us here on this link. This is for the watch party. It's going to happen after our show. So we're going to go live tomorrow, but this is after on the network. This is on Roku. Okay, this is just the after show. Okay, and then this is the link for Facebook. Follow us on Facebook, you guys. Follow us on Facebook. Okay. But again, I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. You guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And then for the after show, which we'll be watching Love After Lockup, honey, that starts at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to have a 2-hour live show tomorrow. And then we're going to be on the network on Roku, watching Love After Lockup, talking and discussing. Got it? Good. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.